Okay, Thursday, 16th of July, 2026, so Adrian's daily vlog, sharing smart stuff men should know. I have spent more than 100 days in El Salvador. I'm on something like 105, 106, something like that in El Salvador. And I initially came here, you could say, for Bitcoin really. Bitcoin, the legal laws and status there, the weather, the adventure, things like that, the comfort zone, things like that. But it's interesting to have spent 100 days in El Salvador, and I've seen a lot of the country, a lot of the places, both sides, wealth and opulence, so to speak, in San Benito, and the poverty in different places, different corners, the mountains, the jungles. I've done a few videos already in the jungle and of the jungle. Had all sorts of realizations about life, people, places, psychology and beyond. Powerful. The meta pattern, the meta opportunity really is travel and explore, expand that comfort zone, see different parts of the world. I have ambitions and plans to see other parts of Latin America while here, in general. And I've seen what's happening here with Bitcoin firsthand, so to speak, with the developments, the infrastructure, the grassroots momentum, we could say, and what's happening here as well, the arbitrage at play between, say, the World Bank and the local development with regards to taxes and getting wealth and foreigners and increasing the tax base in the country. What's happening here, you could arguably say, is in this. If you're going to go the what's it called? Not the Four Seasons. If you're going to say where the country is, it's in the spring. It's in the spring of development. It's in the spring, the 80-year cycle. You know, the spring and winter of civilization. It's definitely in the spring. It's definitely in the sprouting stage of civilization as to what's happening, as it's just come out of a civil war and other conflicts as well, and what's happening and moving forward into life as well. So you could say the Western world is in the autumn of civilization. Here is in the spring. It's on the up and up. And what I also realised, and I saw this firsthand in the UK 20 years ago, is that the social problems of today and floating today have origins 20 or so years ago. So in the UK, the social problems today have origins 20 or so years ago. So the problems that are consistent today, that are sprouting today, will bear fruit, let's say, 20 years from now. That, we could say, is the real test. What happens over the next 5, 10, 15, 20 years in the subsequent election? What happens with the country, the direction, the culture, the wealth, the standards, the attitude, things like that. And we can also go further to say, as a standard, like to slay your heroes, to say that the heroes of today will be the villains of tomorrow, and vice versa, we could say. But understand that at a deeper level, to be the right kind of cynicism is to say the good times won't last, and the good times will create problems for the future in their own way. So it's very interesting to see what's happening here on the ground. But there's a lot of development that is yet to happen here, and I've seen a lot of infrastructure development. I've seen a lot of things happening in the country, and I've seen, again, both sides of the wealth. I have seen, not far from here actually, there's a big stadium, for example, being built, and that will be big news in about a year or so. That'll be big news when it comes out, and what's going to happen there is interesting. And I also heard stuff like $6 billion US dollars are being invested in the country in terms of infrastructure. So it's on the up and up. But again, the problems there, I did a video actually about this a year or two ago or whatever, chaos point. All these things can happen, but it's creating the seeds of demise, it's seeds of chaos later on. All the small little bad decisions that mean nothing, that don't affect us today, they sprout and they compound into the future. It's a kind of a warning in a way, but that's true no matter where and when. But that's interesting to understand. And remember, I did a video as well in December 2024 about my experiences in El Salvador as well. And I also remember doing a video 2 or so years ago about move to El Salvador for the Bitcoin revolution. So that was a speculative thought, but it's on the up. It's on the up. Understand and learn Spanish as well. That will really help you. And I have plans, and I recommend it in general, to see more of the country. Because 200 days from now, or 100 days from now, or 200 days from now, I will have seen a lot of the places as well, a lot of the places, a lot of regions. And there's a lot of room to grow in terms of infrastructure and potential. and other aspects like that. It really is on the up economically. Socially, I don't know about that in terms of people and social mobility, things like that. I don't know enough to make a comment about that, but yes. And we could also say, through gentrification and through the wealth, more places will see more tourists, more foreigners, as the wealth diffuses from the coast and the capital into other parts of the country. Hence why I think the arbitrage at play really is, because understand right now it's still a state of emergency. Technically, someone's paying for the military and the police. In fact, earlier I saw some security there, 7 or so soldiers, something like that. Someone's paying for that, and let's face it, it's the World Bank. So we'll see what happens over the next 10 years with regards to the World Bank is subsidising things, allowing taxes to be low for the time being, and I think the arbitrage is at play to say, in that meantime, in that delta, we want more tourists and foreigners coming here, investors coming, investing, building, acquiring, etc., etc., etc. And then when that tax base increases enough, the state of emergency will end, because someone's got to pay for that security, if the security is needed. And we can go deeper to say it's needed just to maintain momentum, to maintain inertia, even though there's not much point to it in terms of dangers, but it's still needed. So that's, I think, at a deeper level, the arbitrage at play, and that of course will create problems in the future, because I imagine 20 years from now some people in society will be saying, oh, we were too strict on the gang members, let's release some, they've been there for 20 years, let's release some, and that will have an effect on the politics and the direction of the country. So it's interesting to see, but nonetheless the country is on the up and up. I forgot the name now that cycles, I'm trying to remember it now, but spring, summer and all the rest, it's that. The country's on the up, and right here is a motorway, so to speak, or autopista, but nonetheless. For Adrian's daily vlog, sharing smart stuff men should know, subscribe for more, and you will see me tomorrow.